Once again, I want to welcome everyone back and tell you how wonderful it is to see our campus come alive. To be honest, the last 5 months have been a long and lonely slog. We all prayed that this week would come, and we pray now that we can be together until Thanksgiving. I want to talk to you today about something very personal, and it is difficult to share this with you. For many years, I have kept a quote near my desk. The quote is from the writings of St. Thomas More, perhaps the most brilliant early modern humanist, an educational reformer, and a saint. In his book Utopia, he writes, "You must not forsake the ship in a tempest, because you cannot rule and keep down the winds." I have read and prayed over this quote often in the past months, as together we have faced the coronavirus and the reality of systemic racism in our nation, and sadly even here on our campus. So what I'm about to tell you goes against the grain for me, and especially my commitment to our community to see beyond the crisis of this year. When I first shared my ALS diagnosis with you 2 years ago, I was then experiencing a loss of strength in my hands and my arms. My doctors have told me repeatedly that it is very difficult, if not impossible, to anticipate the progression of ALS symptoms. That progression is unique to every ALS patient. I am deeply grateful that the progression of symptoms in my case has been relatively slow, and that has been affirmed by my doctors. I now use a wheelchair most of the time. I also need to give my lungs an occasional break by using a breathing assistance device. Fortunately, there is no pain associated with ALS. And again, my doctors assure me that ALS rarely, if ever, affects cognitive ability. So, I'm no smarter than I ever was. I can't anticipate how well I would be able to fulfill my responsibilities as president in the future. It has been made clear to me that Scranton will need a new leader for the upcoming new decade. So, I will step down as president at the end of this academic year. To be truthful, I am reluctant to share this decision at this very fragile time. With all of the uncertainty we face in our world, there is no good time. So I do this now to give the Board of Trustees the time it needs to conduct a search for the 28th president of the university. In the academic year ahead, I will not forsake the ship. Instead, I will use the strength that God gives me to work with all of you on important priorities, including the health and safety of our campus community as we respond to the pandemic, ways in which we can address systemic racism, the continued success of the Slattery Center for the Humanities, the completion of our strategic plan, advance the capital campaign in order to achieve the university's aspirations and build the endowment, and most importantly, the preservation and enhancement of our Catholic and Jesuit mission. I would also like to direct my energy toward continuing to educate people about ALS and the urgent need for research and the importance of the Americans with Disabilities Act, which protects people living with ALS. 2 years ago, I started my service to the university by saying that I love this place, and I am so grateful to be here again with all of you. During the past 2 years, my love has only grown stronger, and my sense of gratitude deeper. I love the university too much to ever jeopardize their future. That is why I think it is prudent to step aside at the end of this year. The university needs a strong and steady hand, and I pray for the success of the search. I ask you all to pray with me for God's continued grace and for the university's unique place in the landscape of Catholic and Jesuit education. I will treasure the coming months and our work together. God bless you. God bless Catholic and Jesuit education. And God bless the University of Scranton. Thank you.